It's what, like 1:40 in the morning, so I'm not gonna be loud. Why in the world am I awake? Because they were making noise outside. I promise, when you live in New York, getting a good night's sleep is a privilege. It's not a guarantee. It's a privilege. Because you never know. You never know if you're gonna hear somebody yelling, if they're gonna be playing music, if they're gonna be drag racing, if you never know. So if you don't live in New York, enjoy the crickets, because that's once in a while when you'll actually hear them. Like right now, I hear them because everybody else went away, okay? But let's get into the video. Hey, beautiful people. I just looked in the camera to see if I was in focus, and even though like I said, I just woke up. I don't know if I like how I look, but I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not, cause I don't sleep with makeup. I'm not doing that. It's about to be 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not that much. It's a no. But hey, I'm up. I shouldn't be, and I'm so disappointed that I am, because I have to train. I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be at my client's place at 7. So I really don't like that I'm up, but I'm up. But it is what it is. I can't force myself to go to sleep. I have me some black tea to kind of just, but this thing is too hot. So now it's just for aesthetics. Let's talk. I feel like when you can't sleep and you wake up around the middle of the night, there's a reason. Now, granted, I did take a nap, so I can't get too spiritual. I did take a nap. But the fact that I'm up, but I have thoughts on my mind, is like interesting. Let's dive into these thoughts. So recently I put a post on Instagram. No, let's pull back. I was training a client, and I put a post on Instagram in regards to the experience my client was having. The experience my client was having was, she was questioning where she is in life. She felt like she didn't do enough. She felt like she wasn't where she wanted to be. I think we all can relate, and if not all, the majority of us, where we have these moments where we're in a moment where we pause and we're like, where am I in life? What did I do? How did I get here? She shared that moment with me, and she asked me, Shay, how do you keep going? You have this jovial spirit, you're so bouncy and energetic. How do you just keep doing it? And I thought about that, and I was trying to find some reason, and I couldn't, because I have my own moments when I'm just like, I have them more than not. But I did tell her something that I actually do, which is I think about my inner child and how I owe it to her. But sometimes that's not even enough. Sometimes I can't reach her. Sometimes I cry it out. Sometimes I talk about it. Sometimes I feel it out. Sometimes I go for a walk. I feel like we all have our ways of dealing with those moments of self-inventory, self-reflection, right? When we have to audit our life. And she's the same age as me. We're both 32. But what I found interesting is she's married. She's a lawyer. She's white. She lives in the city. And the reason why that was important to me was because I always thought, one, this might sound really ignorant, but I did think this because of how society makes it seem like white women have it easier, right? I also used to believe that, well, you live in the city. If I could live in the city, it would be easier. If I had a better job, it would be easier. But this woman had the things that I thought I idolized, and she still wasn't at peace. She had shared with me that she finds, or she looks and focuses on the negative versus the positives. And I was really thinking like, wow, this woman is telling me something that is really healing it's healing for me, because it's showing me that it doesn't matter which part of the spectrum you're on. If you don't have peace with self, you're always going to be searching for more. You're always going to be looking for more. It's never going to feel like it's enough. And that was important to me because it allowed me to pull back. It allowed me to feel like, Shayla, you're okay. You know, like, you're all right. If you want to do something, do it, but don't do it because you think it's going to be better on the other side. Do it because you feel good now and you're going to carry that, right? You feel secure in yourself and you're going to carry it. I think so many times we leave ourselves because we're just living life, we're doing what we have to do. And then when we get to where we think we want to be, that's when our body kind of shuts down and it has time to reflect every step that we took to get to this point. And if we left ourselves at any point in that process, there's that moment of self-reflection where we're like, wait, what did I miss? How did I get here? What happened in the last 3 years? Am I okay here? Did I really want these things? And it was definitely an experience. So later on, I shared an experience on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know I'm very open on Instagram. I'm open enough. I had shared an experience of meeting people and feeling like they owed me a response quickly, feeling like, well, if you asked me for my number, then you should be using my number immediately. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he had literally said to me, you come off kind of entitled. You come off like nobody else got time. Like when they ask for your number, they should be having a whole conversation with you in that moment. People got lives, Shay. And I thought about that and I was like, I could accept this as a reality. What I chose to do is I heard him and I received it. But I also felt like, I don't think I'm entitled. I think that if you ask me, definitely if you made a choice to come into my space, all you have to do is text me immediately. Like, text me your name and then at least I know who you are. And then you don't have to hit me back within a while, but do the bare minimum. But then when I put that information on Instagram, people were saying you need to detach. You're expecting too much. And I started thinking, am I expecting too much? Okay. And then once I started to think, because you know, you see yourself when you're around people. That's why I think there's so much power in having conversations with people, being in communities, because you'll know what you still get tweaked on or triggered by or alerted by. When you're around people, anybody can be whole and healed when they're in front of a camera and there's nobody around. Anybody can say deep things when they are touched up and pretty in front of Instagram and they're posting how they're a health coach. Like, anybody can say that. But when you, I don't want to say humble, when you are vulnerable with yourself and you allow people to kind of see you as a human being, and it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this too. It's like life be life and over here too. It kind of removes that wall of I'm untouchable. And when I shared my experience and people were saying you probably need to detach, you're expecting too much, it made me realize just because I give great advice, it doesn't mean that I can't accept great advice. And to me, that was great advice because it awakened the reality that I still deal with this energy of pick me, want me, love me. If you ask me for my number, am I not important enough for you to text me? I take things on that level. And I realize that I still do that definitely when it comes to friendships or people who want to be in my space, even when it's dating, because I overextend. So when people don't match my overextensive energy, I take offense. When in reality, I shouldn't be overextending. They're actually probably doing it in the normal way, right? And I might be doing it in the more intense way. And I thought about, where did that come from? And the answer that came to me was, it came because when I did do things in my own comfort time, when I did do things the way I felt it should have been done, somebody always criticized it, always had something to say. So when I meet people who do things on their own timing and they don't get criticized, it's a trigger, because in my mind, I'm like, well, why didn't anybody touch that part of you? Why did they touch that part of me? And that's when I realized, oh, I gotta heal that. That's not them, that's me. That is I need to get more involved in myself and reintroduce myself to myself so that, yeah, there's a level of detachment, but it's a healthy detachment because I'm so attached to me. I'm not relying on you to hit me up. I'm not relying on these things. I can understand that you have a life, and by you having a life, I don't take that personal. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to personalize this moment as I'm the problem, or I'm not going to personalize this moment as, well, you must not want me. You get what I'm saying? And that was very eye-opening. It was so beautiful. And I even spoke to my mom because I told her about the situation, and I had said to her, you know, Ma, I do want a community. I want to have people that I can relate to and talk to. So when somebody who I connected with in a conversation asked me for more of my energy, like, can I get your number or your Instagram, and I willingly give it because that's not something that I do. But when I actually give it and they don't use it within a certain time, it does make me feel nervous because it's like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where to go. And I shared with her that not seeing her interact with friends, not seeing her interact with other people when we were growing up, I don't know sometimes how do I interact with friends. I don't know what to really look for sometimes. I don't know how you should handle an argument because I didn't see it play out, right? So I'm also dealing with the fact that friendships need to be cultivated. That needs to be nurtured too. You have to have a strong sense of self and awareness and demonstrations of what it could look like, right? Like when you have a falling out, how do you deal with that? When you can't get in contact with your friend, but they keep saying you're their best friend, and it's like, but I haven't seen you. Am I really your best? Like, these are things that when you realize you didn't see examples of how things are supposed to be, you don't know how to do it. A lot of the times when it comes to men, I didn't see my mom in relationships. And it's a beautiful thing that my mom didn't have men in and out of her life, but it's also hard as a woman because I didn't see her in her womanness with a man. So I don't know how this works. You know, I don't know if I should be like, yeah, I don't really need you because my mom did it, or I kind of think I need you, but I don't want to be codependent. Sometimes it can be very intense trying to find the balance because I'm creating the example I didn't get while also living the reality that I want. And I realized, like, okay, let's take some steps back. I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits, and there's a part, like even on the cover, it says tiny changes. And I was like, I can do tiny changes. And one of my tiny changes is the fact that I see the patterns. I am literally in an energy of cycles coming to close. And this was a cycle that came to a close where it's like, I don't need to put so much on you because I didn't need someone to put so much on me. I don't need to expect so much from you because I really didn't need someone to expect all that from me. I was young. I don't need to tell you how to move with me because I really did not deserve for someone to always check me on how to move with them when I was younger, right? And what's interesting is as we get older, our body starts to regress. Our body starts to remember things that happened when we were 6 and 10. And you know, it's interesting because it's like I went all these years being fine and now I'm in this stage and now they're all coming back. But I look at it like this. A lot of the things that are coming back is coming because I'm at a stage now where I can comprehend, I can receive, I can understand, and then I can do what is necessary to get a better outcome. Yeah. I need to go to sleep, but I had to get that off. I really hope that this was recording everything. I'll be so pissed if it wasn't, because that was meat. That was good meat. If you're a vegan, that was good quinoa, good chickpea. So if you enjoyed this video, do like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, and until next time, peace.